My name is Craig Irwin, and I am an Oblate of St. Francis de Sales. I feel like every day that I'm in this experience of religious life, this journey of religious life, which really is just the journey of being a Christian man, right? The seminary classes that I'm taking, the everyday experiences of my friends and my family, living in Oblate community, I'm just continually more and more amazed and brought to just awe at the human experience, that the beauty of being human, right? And a lot of times when we think about Christ, I think we get stuck on his divinity, that he is God, and absolutely, he is God. But the teaching of the church is that he is both fully human and fully divine. The human part we lose a lot. But it's really important to remember that, yes, we have a fallen nature. Sin is a part of who we are as humans, but being human is still beautiful. And God became a human. He made this life that we live, the difficulties, the drudgeries, the illness, the pain, as well as the joy and the tears of happiness. All of that has beauty because God took it on himself. He wouldn't take it on if it was ugly and not worth his time. And so thinking about the world in which we live a lot of times can be depressing, right? A lot of times we look around the world and we think, gosh, the world's a mess and things are just not where they need to be. And it seems like we're never going to get to where we want to be, and the world will never be perfect. And you know what? You're right, because humanity, an inherent part of it is imperfection. And so instead of looking to perfect everything and living up to an ideal, something that's brought me great hope and brought me great comfort is to live into the humanity, right? And to bring God there, because God's already there. God took on flesh. He became a man. He already is in this. He knows what this is like. And so instead of pointing fingers at people and saying, you're doing it wrong, it's better and more beautiful to enter in with them and say, not so much you're doing it wrong, but let me show you another way that brings life and that can bring joy, right? Instead of condemning, we walk alongside, right? Accompaniment. Accompanying people in the difficulty, in the messiness of life, and being a shining light of Christ and his joy, the Spirit at work. It may be that people never reach a point where they live up to that ideal, but you never will either. I never will either, because we are imperfect. And until we reach that moment of the divine, heavenly glory that we all hope for, none of us will ever be perfect. And so instead of judging people for that, I have found that embracing and loving the human and seeking to bring the divine into the midst of that really is, it has informed my Christian life and made me a better man, a more loving man, and a better Christian man.